Good afternoon, this is Mario, your real estate solution provider. And today is day one, so I'm excited to invite you. So let me just tape this in, and we go. All right, so today is day one out of it. I'm just going to invite a couple people. And while we're doing that and building an audience, then I will be glad to have you participate and on it. So let me just grab a couple people. Now, the purpose of this is to get people to understand the homeownership program and how to do it and be successful on it. So let's go over it. All right, just a couple little ground rules on it. Again, welcome. This is Mario Finkbiner, your solution provider for all your homeownership needs. In the 5-day challenge, the next 5-day challenges, we will go through several concepts to help you go through and navigate through the challenges, the daily challenges of a home ownership, whether you're purchasing or selling a home. Because again, there's certain unique things, and I want to help you with that. So here's the question I want you to keep in mind throughout this. Have you recently had a life-changing event? Now, people say to me, Mario, what do you mean by life-changing event? Well, let's give you a couple of examples, and then we'll go from there. Such are the following. One, are you currently a renter looking to purchase your first home? So how many of you are currently a renter, and you said, this might be a good time, the holidays are coming. I'd like to start in January owning my own house. So there you go. Instead of paying a landlord or renter and having nothing to get for it after years of paying rent, now I want to see if I can get home ownership. But you're hesitant because you're not sure. After these 5 days, you'll have a working knowledge and have more confidence. Feel free to call me or my partner, and we can be more than willing to explain different ideas, concepts, and again, with the dream team. Number two, have you recently gotten engaged and need to buy a home? One good thing is, let's say, your parents and your son or daughter has just got engaged during the holidays, which is a typical, and then next May to September, you're going to have the wedding, and obviously they want to find their own house. So instead of living down in your basement, they want to move out and find their own place. So that's a good thing to be. Again, we want to emphasize being proactive versus reactive to helping people. I don't like you making decisions in the last minute. I like you to be proactive, empower your knowledge with you, different techniques and different concepts. Another one, did you get relocated from a job? I had a lot of clients of mine when I was a mortgage banker, who were relocated from one state to another. They don't know anything about it. They don't know too much about the schools. They're forced to move because of their job situation. Yeah, they may have got promoted, but the promotion was, hey, great news. You're in New York, great news. Now you got to move over to California and relocate. So that's where you want to reach out to someone like me and my partner so that we can help you through that transition. It's already a life-changing event. Another one, well, let's say we're near retirement and you're tired of the cold weather in New York, so you want to snowbird and relocate down in Florida in a warmer area. Or let's say you have a two-floor, three-floor. Like I had a serious injury. For almost a year and a half, did not go to my second floor because I just couldn't walk up the steps. It was too painful, and that. So therefore, sometimes you want to go from a bigger house and downgrade down to a smaller house so you can be in one level. So those are the things that, as real estate investors, we provide and help you. We're solution providers, help you with all aspects of home ownership. So let's go through it. I'm going to give you 5 things for today. What I want you to do is go through these 5. At the end of this talk, you're going to be able to take these and take the first step toward getting an idea and a working knowledge of it. Tomorrow we'll go through another series of things, and each day, by the end of this week, by Friday, Saturday, we'll maybe do a Zoom, most likely on Saturday, and where I'll field some questions on anything that you have, and we'll be able to then roll this out so that a lot of friends of yours can also get it. So if you miss the opportunity or for whatever reason, work or whatever, you can just watch the replay, or you can ask me for the replay link. So let's go over it. Number one, to get a loan. One of the biggest things and challenges, I don't understand why would you look at any house? Do you go to a car without knowing how much you qualify for the purchase of the car? Do you go to the grocery store without knowing if you have enough money to buy the groceries? So why would you go to a house, check out any house, get your hopes up, without knowing if you qualify for that particular amount of the house? You need to know, so working knowledge. Again, power is knowledge, but applied power or applied knowledge is power to me. But you need to be educated. So one of the things about getting a loan. So look at this. It's not always necessary to have a mortgage broker. Some people, you'll go to a mortgage broker who brokers out the loan, or a mortgage banker like I was, where we lend our own money, or others. Or a bank in your, like local community banks, some of them. So you have different options, but no matter what, before you're buying a home, it's smarter to get a loan approval. Now, pre-approval, we could debate this, but what I like is you should be able to sit down with, if you and your significant other sit down with a loan officer, him or her, be told why you have a mortgage, why you qualify for this particular type. When you sat down with my office in front of me and my desk, I gave you 3 different types of mortgage based upon talking to you. For example, if you're a young couple, I wanted to find out, are you planning on having kids? And you giggle and laugh, yeah. Well, then maybe, and you plan to move from this house in the next 7 years, well, this might be a better mortgage than this. The reason being is you're spending less money giving it to the bank and more money putting away for you for a rainy day to purchase a bigger house in the next 7 years. You keep that money, put it, obviously, build interest, and then you can purchase a bigger house. So let's look at this. This way you have certain how much to know. One of the biggest things you want to know is how much do you want to, how much do you qualify? That's one of the biggest questions everybody asks. Hey Mario, how come my friend is able to qualify for $300,000, but I'm only able to qualify for $200,000? Can I get with $300,000 the same as my friend down the street who bought it for $200,000? So that's a good question, which leads you to the next person on it. And well, once you get an idea from a loan officer who and what you qualify for, then let's go on it. The loan officer should give you a couple things. Now, you have conventional financing. Most people forget conventional financing is pretty straight vanilla. You're required a certain amount, 20% down is the usual rule of thumb if you're doing that. And I don't know too many people that these days, if it's a $300,000 house, you'll need $60,000 down and closing costs. So not everybody has that. So don't get discouraged, ask them, and the question you should ask. And what I'm going to do, like tomorrow I'm going to talk about loan officer, the next day realtors, attorneys, the 4th day, and the 5th day obviously I'm going to talk about supporting people like general contractor. And you can get and ask for a PDF on each time you speak. I have a questionnaire that you should bring with you and ask these questions. Any of these professionals, if they don't answer the questions or are hesitant about it, then that's the type of person that I would not want to work with. They're here to help you and to get and help you with the transition. So look at this. You have an FHA loan. Now, an FHA loan, you want to get the particulars on it, but the bottom line is conventional usually wants a certain sizable percentage down payment. While FHA, you can go 3.5% or less. So that's nice because that gives you a lot more flexibility. The other thing I advise anybody, whether you're whatever, do not try to compete with your next door neighbor, your friends, your family members who make a lot more money than you and try to show off. You don't want to have an experience where you're in a $3,000 a month payment and you can only really, you're stressed, you're going to have tension, you're going to have fights with your spouse and the children, all that, when it would be a lot easier to afford $2,100. Don't go around looking at the $3,000 a month mortgages and houses if really right now you can only afford $2,100. You want to have a positive, fun experience. Home ownership should be positive and fun. There's already enough challenges, trust me, from personal experience that you're going to have on a daily basis. Now, how do you determine that is one of the questions. Well, would you agree one of the biggest things, the unknown factor, is your credit report. Are there credit issues on it? Do you have good credit? You'll hear all the time, they say, do you have excellent credit, good credit, fair credit, poor credit, or lousy. It depends. People who've gone through more divorces, their credit can deteriorate. If you're not sure, again, that's why you want to go to a mortgage broker, mortgage banker, loan officer, and find out your qualification for it so that you have the working knowledge. Then you can take that document, and again, you got to respect, at least I want you to respect the realtors who are the next people to hire an agent. The reason being is because their time is valuable. They're taking their time away from their spouses and significant others and children to help you find a house. Have the courtesy and professionalism to be able to know that you have a document from a loan officer that says this is what I'm qualified for, so that a realtor can help you find houses within that price range. Okay. If you're an agent, here's what you want to do. I will give you a list tomorrow or the next day on the PDF on it. But I believe in hiring a buyer's agent. Why? Because, again, you're buying the house. If you're buying the house, you want an agent that represents you. The selling agent is the different. That person has the ownership on and the obligation to help the seller get the best price. You, as the buyer's agent, have an obligation to help your client, meaning you, to be able to purchase it for the lowest amount as possible. So it's always a give and take. One's negotiating high, the other one's negotiating low, and you eventually meet at a certain price range. But you don't have to only go to a realtor before. One of my suggestions is you go to open houses, get a flavor of it. If you're renting, you're never doing it. What's wrong with taking on a weekend, go on a Saturday and Sunday, check out a couple open houses? And there you'll probably find some really friendly and good realtors. And if not, bring the list that I'm going to give you. You can pre-screen your realtor. Or even better, ask me, and I can recommend. But either way. Now, look through I don't know, some people say, how many houses do I need to look at? The answer is, it depends. I mean, I personally had never seen somebody who buys the first house they see and fall in love with it. I would at least take a look at a couple. But again, build a rapport and a comfort zone with the realtor that you want. Let him or her show you around, and then you can come up. It'd be nice to have like 3 houses that you have. Kind of ideas. Oh, I like this house for these 3 reasons. I like this house for these 3 reasons. But I really like this house, which is a little higher, and all 4 are good. And you can decide. And for you guys, learn to listen to your spouse. Hey, you're going to regret it if you don't. Just saying. Now, an agent can send you listings. Why do you want to retain it? Well, let's think of it this way. If you're a mechanic, would you go and, let's say my car is messed up. I go to a mechanic. Do I want to go to a mechanic, or do I want to tinker it? Yes, I know how to work on my car. Yes, I do that growing up. But how about even a doctor? I'm not a certified doctor, so I have some working knowledge of my body, but at the same time, would you go to and be cheap on that? No. I want you to realize, realtor, most of them that you deal with, again, they're going to be bad apples in any profession, but most of them are worth their salt and gold, and whatever that expression is. Because again, they're geared to help you out. They're going to be able to send you MLS listings. That way it saves you time of reviewing and that. They're going to sit down and talk with you. They're going to find out exactly, hey, do you want a basement? Do you want a backyard, a big backyard, a small backyard? Do you want a front? Do you want a porch? Do you want a fireplace? Do you want certain things? And they'll save you the time instead of you running around like crazy on it. Because you don't want to waste your time looking at properties that are not going to meet what you want. Number 2, agents often look for new listings that are yet on the market. What happens there is they may have, through their network of properties that just came on, just was aware about, and they can do it and get you inside scoop. Third thing you want, you wait. Yeah, if you're a professional in another field, you wouldn't want anybody wasting your time and disrespecting your time. So that's the same thing. If a realtor puts the effort, sets you up with things, I know besides some emergency situation, have the courtesy to at least respect their time. So if they have at 4 o'clock, show up at 4 o'clock. Do it. It's like a job. You're researching, they're getting paid to do it, but at least have the respect. I've never understood this profession where You don't respect the professionals. So on it. Some agents will preview homes for you. You know, if you have a good relationship, they're most likely to say, hey, look, you know, if I was a realtor, which I'm not, but if I were doing it, I would say, hey, look, Tom and Jerry, or Tom and Samantha, look, here's what I did. Based upon our conversation of the day, I looked at these 5 houses, I previewed them, I think you would like these 5. Let's take a look at them. And I give you a reason, probably listing and all that. So you have a working knowledge. And we're not looking at houses, so if you're only qualified for $300,000, I'm not going to show you $500,000 houses because you can't afford them. And as general, one of the things that I always ask people, my clients, is, are you a realtor? Can you evaluate a price and know if that market in that area is the right price? Are you paying overpriced? Nobody wants to be paying overpriced on it. Again, there's certain pros and cons on it, depending on the market value throughout the year and each season. There's different situations. But again, you may not, if you're not a realtor who's been working on it every day, like for example, a doctor can analyze and see, because he sees thousands and thousands of clients throughout the year. What happens is you can get an idea what this scenario and what your symptoms are the same. A realtor can sit there and say, okay, you've been asking for this. I know in this area, these 3 areas of this 20-mile radius, these are the houses that you would be looking for because that fits exactly what you're looking for. So again, it's worth it. So that's number 2, is hire a real estate agent. Number 2, find a home to buy. That's a big one. Buying a home can be an overwhelming process, and personally, I think it is one of the biggest financial, except maybe wedding, I don't know, getting married. It's probably the biggest financial decision you ever made. So you want to do it. Finding the right home is not always an easy task. Why? Because, again, you may like certain things that your spouse does not like, and you have to, again, give and take, like in anything in a marriage and a relationship. I advise buyers to schedule a maximum, and this is exactly what I was talking about. My personal opinion is 7. 7's a good, anywhere from 7 to a dozen houses, and you can take a look at it. You'll get a good idea of what your spouse likes, a good idea of what you like, and a good idea, the realtor gets a good idea of what your taste buds are. Paint, certain things, colors in it, you got to envision that you can always change the color of it, but the structure of the house, that's not something so easy. Now, people say, well, what's the times thing? It really depends. Some people can pick up a house they'll get a loan officer, get approved on Monday, meet with a realtor Monday afternoon, Tuesday, find a house on Thursday and close, and put contract signed by Friday. That's a rare bird, but that can happen. So again, usually rule of thumb is 6 to 8 weeks is a good rule of thumb, because that gives you time to get your paperwork submitted. It also gives you time to evaluate it, because again, when you buy, looking for a house, you have certain procedures that you got to do. The loan officer should be able to tell you, the realtor should be able to tell you, and the attorney. Those are the dream team, as we're going to talk about, and that's what I'm going to teach you. The dream team, if you decide to work with me as a real estate investor, apprentice, and a dream team if you're looking for home ownership, you want to have a dream team. Same as mine, it's just that, I'm going to purchase houses, you're going to purchase one, I'm purchasing several with my dream team. You want to have the same kind of thing. Why do you want it? Because you want to negotiate the offer. Everything is a negotiation, do you agree? I mean, when you go to certain stores, you can negotiate, hey, let's say you want to buy a pair of shoes or whatever, the mattress. You negotiate. A lot of people negotiate and say, well, I don't like that price. Can you drop it $300? What are they going to say? Yes, no. If you never ask, they'll never tell. So that's why you want it. Buyers sometimes make the mistake of comparing the sale price of a home to other homes they have seen. It's a mistake to compare sale price among homes for sale. That's because sellers may ask any price they want. It doesn't mean that a home will sell at that price. That's very important. Now, again, it doesn't mean that the home will sell at that price. Just because somebody listed at a certain price doesn't mean that it's going to sell at that price. So if it's within your ballpark, so again, if you have your dream team, your loan officer is going to work closely with your realtor, And together as a team, they're going to do it, and then your attorney is going to protect your rights so that you make sure you have a good experience on it. So pending sales will become a comparable sales by the time your home closes. That's important because, again, what happens, they appraise your house and they evaluate it and they say, yeah, within the purchase price. So in other words, if you have a house that's listed at $300,000, the appraiser comes out and tells you it's not worth $200,000, then my suggestion, don't buy the house. Or call me and we'll find out and we'll dig deeper and find out why. But the same thing here, you know, that's why you want your realtor as a buyer's agent to protect your rights. You want your attorney to protect your rights. You want the loan officer to be able to help you on that. So, number 5, do an inspection, home inspection. I don't know, I'm puzzled why people would never have that. I mean, let's just average, you're paying $300,000 over 30 years, which is a sizable amount of money, several $1 million in interest at the end of 30 years. Why would you not invest in a home inspection to check it? Does that guarantee you? No, but it does protect your rights. It's a negotiating tool. In some states, a home inspection is conducted before the buyers make a purchase offer, which is the way I would do it, because you want to have it inspected before you purchase it. Because if the home inspection finds some problems, you can say, well, here's 2 choices. Either you fix it up as the current homeowners, or you reduce the price by the amount that we're going to have to spend to fix it up, and we'll purchase it for the lower price. And that's a typical way. In other words, state of home inspection is contract contingency, means a buyer has a right to cancel the contract if you find there's too much. Let's say you find structural damage. Again, your job isn't, you're not, unless you're a contractor by trade, you're not going to know, and you're not going to really have the savviness to find the subtle. So if there's shifting in the foundation, that's something you need to make sure you protect. So a home inspection is for the buyer's edification. However, sometimes when the buyer gives a request for repair to the seller rather than blow the deal, the seller will often agree to make repairs. So again, the option I told you, some people are going to do the repairs and make the current homeowners repair it before they purchase it. Others are going to say, we'll handle it, you just give us a reduced price. I already have a contractor out there who can do it for this price. You hand them that through your attorney or your realtor, and you negotiate a new purchase price. So that's the recap again. Get a loan through a loan officer. You know what you're qualified for. Hire and retain a realtor so that they protect your interests. Find a home to buy through multiple ways. Negotiate the offer, have them negotiate it. And then last but not least, do home inspection so you make sure that you're purchasing not a lemon. Unlike a car, you want to inspect the car. I usually, when I buy a car, I bring it to my mechanic and have him check it out before I sign ink and before I give all the cash over to the seller. So that's day 1. I'll come back to invite you for day 2 tomorrow around 4 or 5-ish. And what we'll do is we'll start with the dream team. Tomorrow we're going to talk about loan officers. You're going to receive a PDF file of the questions that I would ask if I were looking for a homeowner and if I were to look to hire a loan officer. So with that, have a great evening. Again, MMM Solution Provider. Please come and visit us at www.mmfsolutionprovider.com or mmfdreamworksinc.com. This is again Mario, your solution provider for all your home ownership needs. And I wish you the best and see you tomorrow.